The babysitter's phone password was stay the out 29 4 exclamation points. She had a reason for that. When we finally cracked it, we found 3 searches made while she waited for the ambulance. Can a seizure cause a brain bleed? Will a 2-month-old survive a brain bleed? And what happens if a baby has a fractured skull? The 2-month-old Cora was on a helicopter to the trauma center. Her skull fractured in multiple places, her brain bleeding. The babysitter's name is Holly Marie Shepard. This is what we found on July 14th, 2023 when we unlocked her phone. At 10:37 that morning, 911 in Ponca City, Oklahoma received a call. The woman's voice was calm, almost apologetic. I'm babysitting a 2-month-old baby. She's kind of acting a little funny. No panic, no screaming, just mild inconvenience. Paramedics found 2-month-old Cora in the living room. Part of her head was swollen, deformed, her arms were stiff, her eyes rolling back. At the hospital, during a CT scan, she started seizing. The scan showed traumatic bleeding on the right side of her brain and multiple scattered skull fractures. Medical professionals would later determine the injuries were inconsistent with accidental falls. It looked like something had struck her hard. I arrived at the small 1-story house an hour later. 3 women had been there that morning. Holly Shepard, the babysitter, Doretta, her mother-in-law, and Doreen, Doretta's sister. All 3 gave statements. None of them matched. Holly said she put Cora down for a nap in a pink crib, swaddled her, and turned on a nightlight. 2 minutes later, she heard screaming. She told me she picked the baby up, tripped over a toy truck, and dropped her. Then picked her up, tripped a second time, and dropped her again. But Doretta, the mother-in-law, told a different story. She was nervous. I think the baby fell off the bed. Not tripped over a truck. Fell off a bed. Holly Shepard met her mother on a Facebook group called Ponca City Area Moms. She messaged her within an hour of her post saying, I'm a wife and mother of 2 with tons of caregiving experience. They met at a McDonald's. She offered family members as references. The price was $300 a week. Holly started on a Tuesday. This was Friday. 5 days. I sat across from the 26-year-old in a white room at the hospital. Her hands were folded on the table. Too still.
She walked me through the morning in perfect detail. Bottle at 10:15, 2 ounces, swaddled in the crib, nightlight on. 2 minutes later, screaming. Then she repeated her story. I tripped over a toy truck carrying her. I dropped her. Then I picked her up and tripped again, dropped her again. She said it all without a single tear. I needed her phone. What's the password? She laughed nervously. Oh gosh, you would ask me that. It's kind of inappropriate. She rattled off letters. Capital S, T-A-Y, T-H-E, F-U-C-K-O-U-T, 29, then 4 exclamation points. But her phone only took a numeric pin. She never gave me the number. We got it from her husband later. That's when we saw her search history. At 10:42 a.m., 5 minutes after calling 911, she Googled, can a seizure cause a brain bleed? 3 minutes later, will a 2-month-old survive a brain bleed? 3 minutes after that, what happens if a baby has a fractured skull? She was Googling survival rates while paramedics were trying to save Cora's life. I brought Doretta, the mother-in-law, back to the station. She was quiet, anxious. I told her Holly's story about tripping. She changed. Did she tell you the same situation happened before? I stopped. What happened before? She hesitated. Should I say anything? Then she told me. Oklahoma City, 2018. 5 years ago. Holly met another mother on Facebook and started babysitting her 3-week-old infant. 3 days later, the baby was rushed to the hospital with multiple skull fractures and bleeding in the brain. That baby died. Police investigated, but they couldn't prove the injury happened under Holly's care, and no charges were filed. Skull fractures, brain bleed. Met on Facebook. The pattern was identical. I felt cold. Holly Shepherd had done this before, and she had gotten away with it. At the time, no charges were filed, but this time was different. This time, the baby, Cora, survived, and this time we had a witness. We brought Holly's husband, Sam, back in. He was 28, visibly shaken. He told me he hadn't known about the baby in Oklahoma City until the day before. Holly was texting him from jail, begging him not to leave her, writing, "I didn't drop the baby twice. You misunderstood me." I showed him the transcript of our interview with his wife, her own words. He read it, then showed me messages with his brother. "I need to cut ties for the sake of my kids." He sat there in silence for a long time. Then he said something I'll never forget. He believed her about Oklahoma City. She told him the baby was already hurt when she got there. He'd believed that lie for 5 years. I asked the pediatric trauma specialist to look at Cora's injuries, the CT scans, the multiple skull fractures. I asked them, could the injuries match her story of tripping over a toy? The answer was a definitive no. The fractures were scattered at multiple impact points.
Different from a single drop. Different from hitting the floor once or even twice. They said it looked like blunt force trauma, like the baby was struck. Not dropped, struck. I looked at the photos of the toy truck Holly said she tripped over. It was a small plastic thing, maybe 6 inches long. You'd have to try to trip over it. To do it twice while carrying a baby? Impossible. Cora's 4-year-old sister Audrey was in the house that morning, playing on the living room floor. When her grandmother asked her what happened, Audrey at first said nothing. Then she said something strange. The couch hit baby sister. The grandmother stopped. "What do you mean, honey?" Audrey just repeated it. The couch, it hit baby sister. Not that the baby fell off the couch or was dropped near it, but that the couch hit her. We don't know exactly what a 4-year-old saw, but children don't craft stories like adults do. They say what they see. And she saw something hit her sister. Something connected to that couch. That's where we found the bloodstains. On the cushions.
Holly Shepherd was charged with felony child abuse. Bond was set at $500,000. She didn't post it. She was 5 months pregnant when she was arrested and gave birth in custody that December, under armed guard. She remained in jail for 16 months, awaiting trial. Against all odds, baby Cora fought. After weeks in intensive care, surgeries, and therapy, she survived. She celebrated her 2nd birthday in April 2025. She still has complications, but she's alive. On November 26, 2024, Holly entered a plea of no contest. The sentence was life in prison, with eligibility for parole after 25 years. She'll be 51 years old. But the story doesn't end there. In 2025, while serving her life sentence, Holly Shepherd was charged with first-degree murder for the 2018 death of that 3-week-old infant. 7 years later, that case is now ongoing. I think about that phone password, stay the f*** out. She knew exactly what she was hiding. She just made one critical mistake. She did it twice. And the second time, the baby survived. Now she'll spend the rest of her life in prison for the baby that lived. And maybe, finally, there will be justice for the one that didn't.